everyone say my mother-in-law was overreacting about the stupid blankets. My mother-in-law Delilah had been the family's personal tailor for 20 years. She hand-beaded my sister-in-law's wedding dress over 3 months that would have cost $8,000 at any boutique, working until her fingers bled. She showed up at midnight when my brother-in-law forgot his daughter's recital costume, creating a swan tutu from scratch. She once drove through a blizzard to fix my cousin's suit before his life-changing interview, and Delilah never accepted a single dollar. She'd always say seeing us shine was payment enough, but honestly speaking, I was the only one who brought her vintage fabrics from estate sales. She'd try refusing, but I'd hide them in her sewing room. I felt bad watching her work magic while everyone acted like it was nothing. At this point, the family just assumed she'd fix whatever they needed, but this year was different. Delilah finally got featured at her quilting club's annual show after a decade of membership and texted everyone these sweet invitations to come see her work. Why would we want to look at a bunch of old blankets? My brother-in-law asked. Delilah explained she'd made a family memory quilt using pieces from all the baby clothes, wedding dresses, and special occasions she'd sewn over the years. It tells our whole story through fabric. She kept assuring everyone she didn't expect them to buy anything. She just wanted her family there for support. The show was Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m., and she'd specifically checked that no one had soccer games or birthday parties. Everyone responded to her messages with heart emojis and excitement. My sister-in-law wrote paragraphs about how she deserved this recognition. My brother-in-law promised to leave work early and wouldn't miss it for the world. They were saying they couldn't wait and how proud they were. But on the day of the quilt show, the family group chat stayed dead quiet. I got there right at 2 o'clock and found Delilah standing alone beside her display. She'd set up a little table with homemade cookies she'd baked that morning and name tags written in her perfect cursive. Where is everyone? I asked. She kept checking the parking lot through the window, saying traffic must be bad on Saturdays. By 2:30, the excuses started flooding in. My brother-in-law claimed his neighbor's cat was stuck in his garage and he had to wait for animal control. My sister-in-law said she suddenly developed a migraine from a new perfume sample. Someone texted just can't make it with no explanation. Another forgot they had to return a library book immediately or face a 50-cent fine. They were pathetically transparent lies typed out with the minimum effort required. At 2:45, Delilah got a text from my sister-in-law asking if she could hem 3 pairs of outlet mall jeans by Monday for her work trip, adding, since you're not doing anything important today anyway. I watched Delilah's shoulders drop as she tucked her phone away with trembling hands. Her own son texted at 3 p.m., Mom, these quilt people are probably loving your little hobby. Send pics. Not coming, just dismissive. By then, elderly ladies from the quilting club kept stopping to compliment Delilah's intricate work, asking where her family was to celebrate with her, which made their absence cut deeper. One woman said her grandchildren drove from 3 states away for her show last year. Delilah just nodded, eyes glistening. I squeezed her hand and looked her in the eyes. Your work is incredible. They don't deserve you. Let's go show these quilting ladies every single stitch. Delilah managed a small smile, and we spent the next hour discussing her techniques with genuinely interested strangers who appreciated her more than her own blood. The following Sunday at our weekly family dinner, everyone showed up with shopping bags like nothing had happened, dumping outlet mall purchases right on Delilah's sewing table, chattering about the amazing sales they'd scored. Nobody mentioned Delilah's quilt show, not once. Delilah sat there silently until my sister-in-law finally said, Oh Mom, did that blanket thing go okay? I saw some photos on Facebook. Looked cute for old lady crafts. Anyway, these need hemming by Friday. Her son added, Yeah Mom, glad you're keeping busy in retirement with your little projects. I watched Delilah stare at the pile of cheap fabric covering her workspace where she'd created masterpieces. A few people scrolled through their phones. I tried to break the silence. You guys really heard her. She was there alone with her biggest accomplishment. My brother-in-law snorted and said, Come on, they're just quilts. We have real jobs and real responsibilities to worry about. Not everyone can play with fabric all day. Delilah stood up very slowly, picked up her fabric scissors, and started cutting. Let me show you what quilts are made of. She grabbed the first pair of jeans and sliced straight through them. You cut your material into squares first. Someone screamed about their new clothes. Delilah kept cutting. These outlet deals, perfect squares. Your work pants, geometric pieces, that silk blouse, beautiful squares. She worked through the pile methodically while everyone sat frozen. You want alterations? My rate is $75 per item. Halloween costumes are $500. Formal wear starts at $3,000. The outlet mall has a tailor near the food court. She gathered up all the fabric squares and dropped them in the kitchen trash. This would have made a worthless quilt anyway, just like my others apparently. Then she left the room. That was 4 months ago. My sister-in-law tried paying for costume work, but Delilah sent the check back.